Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi, welcome if you're new here. I'm Cheyenne. So I wanted to make a video for you guys. Please excuse how I look. I'm so tired. So I wanted to make a video for you guys because I haven't made one for a little while and I'm so sorry about that. Things are really crazy. You guys know I just moved and I had surgery, breast reduction surgery. Bentley is about to turn 1 and I'm going on vacation and planning a wedding. So things are really crazy and I have so much going on. I'm so sorry. I know I finally have an upload schedule and I'm not even sticking to it and I'm so sorry, but this is a video that I should have made back whenever I was talking to you guys about my pregnancy and my labor and delivery story, and you know what, I'm really sorry that I didn't even think to upload this video then, but I'm uploading this video now, as like I said, he's about to be a year old. So if you guys want to know about something that affects many women across the world, then keep watching this video. So, you guys know that I suffered from depression and anxiety before I got pregnant with Bentley. And going along with that is I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder and have since then, a couple years ago, been diagnosed with major anxiety disorder. I am on medication, I'm in therapy. Things, I wish I could say couldn't be better, but they could be better. They could be so much better, and they're not, but, yeah. So, what I want to talk to you guys a little bit about is postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression. Now, postpartum affects women who have just recently had a baby, and they are susceptible to it for up to a year after giving birth. I didn't know what postpartum was exactly, but because I had a history of depression and anxiety, I was at a higher risk. So when Bentley was born, I don't know if it was the fact that we had almost lost our baby or if it was he's my firstborn. There was just something that I just needed him. And I don't remember if I mentioned it in my labor and delivery story. I will link that video in the description box below if you guys want to go check that out. It was either because I'm anemic and I lost a lot of blood that this happened, or they'd given me something that had made me extremely sick. But I was too dizzy to get up. The same thing happened after my surgery, so I kind of feel like it was the anemia thing. But I could not get out of bed without feeling like I was going to pass out, honestly. And it sucked because I was not allowed to get up out of bed without somebody being there. I was not allowed to hold Bentley without somebody being there. And I was not allowed to hold him and carry him, period, whatsoever. So we bring him home. And I was up hours on end. I was breastfeeding, so I would only be able to sleep this much amount of time. For the first, I think it was a week that Chris was home with him, he was able to help me a little bit, and then he went back to work, and then he just wasn't coming home, so I was getting really aggravated, and that's where my anxiety was setting in, where I felt like I was doing everything by myself. And like I said before, I was a stay-at-home mom for about 4 months until after Bentley was born. And for a couple weeks, I felt like I was doing everything because then he would come home and he would fall asleep and I would have Bentley and I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't drink anything all day until he came home, or my mom came home, or somebody was home to hold Bentley because he wouldn't let me put him down. So eventually I was like, okay, maybe I need to get some help, because I wouldn't even let Chris hold him after a while. I wouldn't let anybody hold Bentley except for me. And if somebody else was holding him, I'd have really, really, like, bad anxiety, actually. It was, I want my baby back. You're doing this wrong. Please give him back before he starts screaming, and then I'm going to be really more pissed off, and it was really bad. So I was like, all right, maybe there's something wrong with me. And I went into treatment for a little while, where they diagnosed me with postpartum anxiety. And I was fine, and then a couple months, like, I was in treatment for about 6 weeks. So we got everything under control. And then I came out of treatment. I was okay-ish, I guess. And then a couple months ago, I started to have really bad anxiety attacks. And whenever I used to have panic attacks, it was, I'd get tunnel vision, I'd get really, really shaky, I'd feel really, like, sick, I couldn't do anything, I would shake, I'd space out, like, it was really, really bad. And now my panic attacks were literally freaking out. I would get really, really shaky. My heart would start to pound. I would cry, actually. And I started having them in the middle of the night. I would have nightmares again. And I don't really know what sparked it up, so I went back into treatment and they started writing it off as postpartum anxiety. And I understand why, because obviously, like, he wasn't a year old yet. He was, like, 7 months old, I think. Roughly 7 months old whenever I went back into treatment with the same therapist. And we started talking. But she said, yeah, I still think it's a little bit of the postpartum anxiety. However, I think from what you've described about how it used to be and how it is now, she said, you have major anxiety disorder. My anger issues, and I don't have anger issues. I get really angry and hold grudges for a really long time. But all to do with postpartum is the chemical imbalance, I think. And I don't want, what I thought it was you resent your baby, you resent your spouse, you resent yourself. And honestly, for a little while, I did resent myself. But it was like, I don't hate my baby. Like, I don't hate him. And it turns out that I was experiencing some of it because I did resent myself. I thought I was a failure as a mom because I didn't know what he wanted all the time. He'd scream, he'd cry. But at the same time, I realized after going in treatment, okay, this is normal. You just need to learn and adapt. And eventually I did. But, the main reason for this video is if you are a mom who's had a history of depression and anxiety, please don't be afraid to ask for help with a newborn. I didn't ask anybody for help because I felt like I needed to be able to prove that I could do this on my own at 19, 20. So, I mean, let's be honest, you need help, especially with your first one. And sometimes even with the second one. If you need help, please don't be afraid to ask. If you don't have anybody to help you, find something, a doctor, anything. They tell you not to, like, shake your baby or anything. Don't shake your baby, that's bad. But they tell you to make sure your baby's safe and walk away. I have had to do that. Chris has had to do that. It's part of being a parent. But if you feel like you're out of control, you need help, please, please, please seek help, because it's not worth it to completely fuck yourself up. It's the best way I can put that. But just know, if you are struggling with anything, please don't be afraid to come talk to me. I've gone through a lot of stuff, and I'd be glad to talk to you and listen to you about it. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.